All right, guys, welcome, and thank you for coming out to the webinar tonight. My name is Kenan McKinney. I live in Houston, Texas, and really proud to be able to present this program to you guys. Most of y'all are probably already in this program. Hopefully you were able to maybe invite a few of your prospects out. And can you guys hear me okay? If you can, just one of you guys just type down in the box down there. I want to make sure I'm okay. Super. Thanks, Joe. All right, let me go ahead and click the record on this. All right, super, guys. Well, thanks again for coming out. I just want to tell you a little bit about myself and how I lucked into this program, and then we'll go right into the slideshow and just decided that I wanted to kind of give you guys some insight on this program, because today there was a board that was sitting to where anybody that would have come along and enrolled, one extra person would have just jumped, straight to the top of the board and went straight to the pay line. I'm going to show you that board in a second, because, I've only been marketing online for about a little over 18 months, and I'm a brick and mortar business owner. I've had my own company since I was 18 years old, and I turned 43 last year. And back about June of 2012, I had a neighbor that came over and just literally pounded on me to get into a program called Zeek Rewards. And prior to that, I had done eBay, and I'd made a lot of money on eBay and stuff, but I never tried to do any of these online, business opportunities. So after 3 months of watching this guy's account, I finally jumped in, and I jumped in right at the end and ended up losing a lot of money. And so I just decided, I started my own company when I was fresh out of high school, that I'm a smart enough guy that I should be able to figure out how to get out there and make money online. And goodness gracious, guys, it's not easy to make money online. And the problem is most of the programs out there are just made to make money off of the affiliates. And it's kind of sad, but I started joining all kinds of different programs, and after about 25 or 30 different programs, I was about to just give up and lick my wounds and just realize that I wasn't going to earn my money back that I had lost. And all of a sudden I got a call from a guy that I'd made friends with, and he started telling me about RCCv2, Rocky Cash Cycler. And I told him, I just don't work cyclers. I had already lost about $400 or $500 in traditional cyclers. And he said, this isn't, like a standard cycler. He said, I'm so positive that we're going to make money in this program, I'm just going to buy you in. And I said, wow. I said, that's really nice of you. I'm usually doing all the buying, but what's it cost, And he said, well, it's, $315. And I said, okay, well, that's not too bad. I just had a company rip me off for $200 that said we were trading gold, and I was supposed to get some sort of crazy percentage every day. And he said, well, all you got to do is enroll 2 people. And I said, well, that's not too hard. So, he said, all right, well, if you don't think that's too difficult, I'll buy you in. I said, well, I appreciate the offer, but I've got my own money. So the money's not the issue. I'm just looking for a viable program. And he said, well, get a spot and just follow my lead. And this is, version 1 I'm referring to. And I got in on the 2nd of February, and it only took me 11 days to get my, my $300 back, which means it took me 11 days to cycle out of the 2x3 board. Version 2, it took me 2 hours, to get out of the 2x3. And then I made $5,300 in my first 24 days, which means I completed cycling the 2x3 and the 2x2, and it took me 24 days. And right now I'm on my 3rd day, and I'm about halfway through cycling the 2x2. So it looks like it's only going to take me, 4 or 5, maybe 7 days to do what it took me 24 days to do in version 1. And the incredible part is, we're going to get paid almost twice as much when we cycle in this program. So, guys, I can tell you this much. I know a lot of people that are on, the webinar have made money before. And, there's probably a few on here that haven't, but I can tell you guys that this program definitely works. It is a systematic A plus B equals C program, and that's why I like it. It's the only program I've ever been in that's actually entertaining, and you'll understand what I mean. Like, I was so intrigued today because there was a board that was about to break, and guys, whenever you can go out and hustle and you can turn your briefcase blue or red and you can jump a bunch of people and you can shave off hours or days or even sometimes weeks on the amount of time that it takes, to get to the top of the 2x3 or to cycle out. Like I was talking to Joe this morning, man, we're not talking about peanuts, guys. We're not talking about, utility bill, for a couple $100. We're talking about $7,000 to $10,000 every time you cycle. And, I've been fortunate enough to, always have made good money my whole life. And I don't care how much money I've ever made in my life. $7,000 to $10,000 is life-changing money for people. I mean, you can buy a very nice used car. You can catch up a lot of bills. You can put down a nice down payment on a new place. You can take an extravagant vacation. So, this is an awesome program, guys. I'm just really happy that, Todd went ahead and launched version 2. And I can tell you guys that he took a lot of the flaws that I thought were, negative things that were involved in version 1 and stripped them out of version 2. So, I mean, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you this so you know the potential of this program. I made 6 figures in version 1 by the time I hit 6 months. So, guys, this is the program. This program will put an exorbitant amount of money in your pocket if you work it. It's a business. It's like any other business. The more you work it, the more you're going to get out of it, the more money you're going to make. Even though it only requires 2 people to be qualified, now more than ever, you want to try to enroll as many people as you can. This added residual income that they've put into play is just huge. I mean, I'm gonna tell you figures just so you understand the potential, not to brag, but I'm already up to about $550 a month in residual, which, that's $6,300 a year. I mean, that right there will pay 3 or 4 months of my mortgage payments on my home. And that's just a bonus. I mean, that's just extra that we're getting on top of the money that we're going to make in the cycling. So, I mean, I've never been more excited, with an online program than I am, with RCCv2. And what I'm going to tell you that I've learned, with online marketing, and I'm going to tell you I'm no guru. This is a learn-as-you-go situation, but I can tell you this much, that I love online marketing. I've been a brick-and-mortar business owner, and I deal with the public, and I deal with commercial and industrial. And, I have to do the work of, 4, 5, 6 people in my business. And what I love about online marketing is I get to do all the fun part, and I don't have to do all the tedious crap like invoicing and, collecting money and paying sales tax and dealing with employees and, all the crap that it takes to make money in a brick-and-mortar business. I mean, it's just amazing the kind of money that you can make online in the comfort of your home. You never have to leave. You get to make just ridiculous money. You get to meet awesome people all over the world. You get to drink cold beer on the job. I mean, what kind of job can you have where you can drink cold beer? I mean, I love it. So as you can see on this slide, timing is really one of the most important things in an online business. If you're fortunate enough to get in at the very beginning, in just about every online business I've ever seen, time is crucial. And, if you're on this webinar and you're not enrolled, you still are in perfect, time position because, the company's only been, cooking right now for, going on maybe 36 or 48 hours. I mean, we're really just at the very, very tip of the iceberg in this company. So timing is number one. Positioning is hugely important. And I can tell you guys that, the reason I wanted to go ahead and start having these webinars, because we have just, united some of the most awesome marketers that I've ever met. since I've been marketing online, and I'm telling you guys that know how to work and they know how, to make money online. And when you've got timing and positioning and you position yourself with really elite and dynamic leaders like, we have in this program, guys, the only way that you're going to not make money in this program is if you don't try. I mean, that's it. You're going to have the upline support. Like number 3 is support. It's very, very important. I heard so many people that would tell me that, man, I never made money in version 1. Well, did you ever do 3-way calls? No. Well, did you ever get on a webinar? No. Well, then how do you expect to make money? You got to get in, you got to plug in, and you got to stay in, okay? 90% of the people, they get in, and the get in part is the easy part. The flipping out the credit card and buying your position in these companies is the easy part. That does not guarantee you're going to make any money. The plugging in is doing exactly what you're doing right now, which is getting on webinars, keeping your business in front of you. Out of sight is out of mind, and that is especially, the case when it comes to online business. A lot of people are multitasking. They hold jobs. They have 2 or 3 of these different kind of businesses that they're involved in, and I can tell you right now that if you're smart, you would, kind of curb what else you're doing if you can and focus on this business because, guys, we've got a lot of people coming in. Our direct team has grown by well over 50 people in the past 2 days, and if every one of those people, just go out and get one of the 2 people that they need to get to become qualified, we're going to be doubling in size in the tip-top leader team and the VIP team. So, guys, support is here. Timing is perfect, and you're positioned just right, okay? So, basically, the big difference in version 2, and for those of y'all that weren't in version 1, I apologize if I refer back and forth. Because I just want to point out how much better version 2 is. If you weren't in version 1 and you just lucked up into getting in version 2, then you're lucky because version 2 is pretty badass, okay? In version 1, we were taught, that as soon as we brought in 2 people and we become qualified to, start another position and then repeat the process. Matter of fact, whenever we cycled out of the 2x3 matrix, which we'll cover in a second, we actually were given a free e-pin, which is like a buy one, get one free voucher that you could use to start another position in the company. So we were really, taught to continually bring in more positions. And the problem with that is, a lot of times you'll enroll a few guys underneath you and they won't perform. And it's important that you have people following you into the 2x2s so that you become qualified and you don't get jumped in the 2x2s. So when you're constantly, building multiple positions, you can't really focus on one position and you really just spread yourself too thin. And I can tell you this much, I had more positions in version 1 than anybody out there. I mean, I'm a very aggressive businessman. I had a lot of fun with this company, and some people, they say I bought my way to the top. Well, you know what? I paid for every position I had, and I qualified every position I got. So, I ran my business the way, I wanted to run my business. Some people didn't agree with it. 4 months into the program, I was the first person to say that if I had to do it all over again, I would have just started with one position. I would have, enrolled as many people as I could underneath that one single solitary position. So the good part is that's what we're being trained to do in version 2. You get one position. It only takes 2 to get qualified, but you want to continue to enroll as many people as you can underneath that, that very first position, because, the residual income that is now a part of version 2 that wasn't a part of version 1 is huge. I mean, guys, we're talking about making some really, really big money every month that you can, pretty much count on, to help pay your bills and stuff. So you're not stressing over having to cycle all the time. But, with having one position and enrolling numerous people underneath that, that's just going to guarantee that you're going to cycle a lot faster, and that means you're going to start making those $7,000 paychecks over and over again a lot quicker, and it's going to be a much faster paced program than version 1 was. So so what it says right here is we get one position, just get 2 people, and then go 100% wide, which is, like we said, just enroll as many people as you can underneath that very first position, okay? So here what we're looking at for y'all that are new or maybe not in the program yet or not able to log in is what they call a 2x3 matrix. And the only reason they call it a 2x3 is because simply it has 2 people on the first level here, and then it's 3 levels deep. You got your first level here, you got your second level here, and you got your bottom level at the bottom, okay? Now, anytime you come into the program, the only positions that need to be filled are the bottom, okay? The first level and the second level are always filled up. And what we're doing, working together as a team on your board, is everybody's working together to fill that bottom row, okay? So as people are enrolled, they're filled in single file from left to right. So you can see this little first guy here, Whirlwind. He was the first guy that got enrolled on the board. And then the second person that, enrolls on that board will drop into this second briefcase, which is turned gray right now. And then it'll just move from left to right, single file, all the way until you get to the last rocket, or not rocket. That's what we had in version 1. But briefcases, I'm trying to get used to that. But when that last case lights up, what's going to happen is this board will literally split right down the middle, and then one 2x3 matrix becomes 2, okay? And then what happens is the guy at the top, he gets pushed out, and he's going to get pushed into a 2x2, and that's where the magic happens. That's where you're going to make the big bucks up there in the 2x2. We're going to cover that in a second. Now, in version 1, you didn't get paid until the bottom 8 line filled completely up, and then when the board broke, you received $300, which paid you back for your position, and then you received an E-pin. Well, we no longer have E-pins, which is awesome, and what's even better is now you get paid as the bottom row fills in as long as you're at the top, okay? So when the first person comes in, which is this Whirlwind person, Jason at the top would earn $50, and then $50 for the second, third, and fourth, and then the last 4 you receive $100 a pop, okay? So what that means is by the time you come out of the 2x3, you have received your $500 that you paid in back, plus you've made $101 in pure profit, okay? So this is what I call a no-brainer. I mean, at that point, you have absolutely no skin in the game. You've gotten all your money back. You have thousands and thousands of dollars in software and books and things that we're going to talk about in a little bit. And I can tell you, there's been a lot of knockoff cyclers that's come along and tried to steal, our people. And we've lost some people, but I can tell you one thing they don't have is they don't have the leadership that we have and, the customer support, and they definitely don't have the products. One of the products that we're going to talk about tonight was built and, designed by our CEO, and I can tell you guys, it works. I have built teams all over the world. My strongest team is in Uganda, and you'll see if you check a lot of these guys that are mixed in with us right now, if you click on their profiles, you'll see that they're from Uganda, and that's because I used the software that comes with your buy-in, and I reached out and I built teams all over the world, and some of the greatest people I've met are not even in this country. They're people that don't take this for granted. They make very, very little money. I think the average pay for a person in Uganda is $100 a month, not a day, not a week, a month. Actually, doctors earn like $700 a month. So, these guys are making life-changing money. They're having to come up with 5 months worth of salary in order to get into this program. And let me tell you what, they're doing whatever it takes to get in. okay? And what I'm going to do is go back here, and I'm going to tell you what these colors represent. And when you buy into the program and you pay your one-time $4.99, you basically get a green briefcase. That means that you've paid in and you're good to go. But whenever you enroll your first person, your briefcase will turn blue. And then whenever you become qualified and you enroll your second person, your briefcase will turn red, okay? So if you look over here at the notes that I put in the webinar, on your left-hand side, you'll see that there's 4 steps. There's 4 crucial steps to becoming successful in this program. And the first step is to turn your position red, okay? Whatever that takes, and I recommend do it as quick as possible. And I'm going to show you in a little bit a board that if these guys would have went out and just gotten one person, it would have really sped up how quick they would have got into the money. And I'm going to show you how important it is to go out and get your 2 people, okay? Usually I say that you want to try to get your 2 within the first 24 hours. And I can tell you that the people that you need are really in your cell phone. You don't need, tons of marketing and blasting out, all this stuff that, you need to usually do if you're building a big binary downline organization. I mean, it just takes 2 to become qualified. But then, of course, for the residual side of the program, you're going to want to, enroll as many people as you can, but you want to at least get those 2, as fast as you can. So what ends up happening here as, people are enrolling people, and see, in version 1, we couldn't really count on the red positions to enroll more than 2 people, so we really only could count on the blue and green. But what's really cool about version 2 is since everybody's being told to enroll as many people as you can, now to help break the board, you can now count on the red positions along with the blue and green. So it only takes, I've always said this, it only takes a spark to start a forest fire. And what I mean by that is you could enroll one new person that drops down on this 8 line, and that person could single-handedly go out and enroll 2 people, and then those 2 new people that came in could enroll their 2 people, and that board could simply be broken without the help of anybody else on that board. I'm talking about dropping one new guy in there, could start a forest fire and basically could get that board broke by just bringing in one person. So, don't get discouraged if you keep checking your board and, you don't see any activity for a little while. What I tell people is, look, if the board's not moving fast enough, go look in the mirror. I mean, there's nobody to blame but yourself if the board's not moving. Take it upon yourself, bring in some fresh blood and get the boards moving. It's really simple. And the whole key is to get out of the 2x3 board. I mean, you only have to come out of that board one time. That's it. Once you're out of the 2x3 boards, you're in the pay boards forever, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to reiterate real quick. When this board fills up all the way to the end, the board splits down the middle. The guy at the top gets pushed out. And then what happens is the computer looks at all the colors, and what happens is the red positions will jump the blue and the greens, and then the blues will jump the greens. Okay, so like, for instance, this board we're looking at, if it filled all the way into the very end, and this guy at the top, this rock solid person, didn't go red, when the board would split, this person right here that's red would end up jumping him. And then what would happen is, in essence, he would go from the 4 line to the pay line because, keep in mind, this guy gets pushed out, and then, flyby right here will be at the top of the 2x3 on the left leg, and then rock solid would get jumped by this person right here. I can't read what that says, like megabytes or something. Anyway, that person would jump this guy and go to the top. So that is, one of the most power plays in the program is to get your 2 people, and when that board splits, to try to jump your way to the top, because let's face it, when you get to the top, you're at the pay line. You're going to start earning as people fill that board, and then you're going to get up, into the pay boards, okay? So, what happens after you get pushed out of the 2x3 is you're going to land in what they call a 2x2 matrix, and it's just like a 2x3, The only difference is it's missing that bottom row, okay? Now, the only positions that need to be filled in on the 2x2 are the bottom 4 positions right here, okay? Now, in version 1, we ended up getting $1,000 when the first person got in, and then another 1,000, and then another 1,000, and then 2,000, okay? So we earned a total of $5,000 every time we cycled the 2x2. Well, in version 2, we earn 1,000 on the first position, we earn 1,000 on the second, we earn 2,000 on the third, and the last position we get 3,000. So we make $7,000 every time that we cycle the 2x2. And the beautiful part is, once you leave this 2x2, let's say you're Jason at the top right here. Once this board breaks, Jason is going to follow his sponsor, and he's going to get, pushed into another 2x2 somewhere on the bottom line. And, once he works his way to the top, he's going to cycle again for another $7,000. And I can tell you, I had positions in version 1 that cycled 3, 4, 5 times. Okay? So think about that. I mean, I cycled 3, 4, 5 times, rolling a couple people underneath me. And now, I mean, if you enroll 5, 10, 15, 20 people, 100 people, you're just going to cycle so much faster in this program, and you're going to get paid almost double, okay? So after you get your $2,000 in this third position, you're going to want to check with your team and see if everybody's going to opt into this 2x1 matrix, okay? This is a bonus matrix. It's a double down option, and it's awesome, okay? If you're not doing this, then you're foolish. And, it's really a way to make an extra $3,000 every time you cycle the 2x2 and the 2x1, okay? And the way it works, it's real simple. All you got to do in your back office is click on the 1x2 tab, and there's a little on-off button. You just either turn it on and click update or leave it off, okay? And what happens is if you turn it on, you have to do it before this last position lights up. Now, as long as you've got it turned on, whenever you hit that last position and you get paid that $3,000, that $3,000 doesn't go right into your back office like the rest of the money does. What happens is it's basically held, and you move over into this 2x1. And the way it works is the only people that are going to follow you into this 2x1 are people that you personally enrolled. Okay, so this is important. You got to make sure that all your team is on board to opt in to the 2x1, because you don't want to opt in and nobody else is doing it, and you got $3,000 stuck in this thing. Okay, but as long as everybody's opting in, what happens is when you push into the 2x1, when the very first person follows you in, you earn $3,000. So in essence, you get your $3,000 back, right? Okay. Then when the second person follows you in, you earn another $3,000. And then so you double up. You make an extra $3,000, and then your position here just dissolves. Okay. Now, when the board breaks, you still get pushed out immediately into another 2x2, and you begin the cycle process over while everything's going on over here in the 2x1. Okay. So don't worry about that slowing you down. That just passes the $3,000 over, and then you wait till 2 people follow you in, you double up, and bam, you make your money, and then, that position just, is just dissolved, okay? Now, what I want to show you now is, you can see there are green and red positions in the 2x2. There's no such thing as a blue position in the 2x2. Now think about this, guys. This is really important. When you leave the 2x3, your position will turn from red back to green, okay? I'm going to repeat that. When you leave 2x3, your position is going to turn from red back to green. Now, the way you get your position turned, in this case, it's little jet airplanes, so it's going to turn from a briefcase, because the 2x3 is called the apprentice board, and the 2x2 is known as the CEO board, okay? So the way you're going to turn your jet red is one of the people that you enrolled need to follow you into this board, okay? So what is that going to do? Well, what that's going to do is that's going to turn your position red, and then when this board breaks, see, this board's going to break just like the 2x3. When that last position lights up green, and that's the only position, that's the only color that last position can ever be is green, because as soon as that lights up green, the board breaks. Jason at the top is going to get pushed into another 2x2 following his sponsor, and then what happens is this board splits right down the middle just like the 2x3, and it fills in 4 gray jet airplanes under the left leg, and it puts 4 gray jet airplanes on the right leg, and the procedure starts over again. But here's the powerful part. If you're looking at this little board right now, this rock solid person right here is green, and you can see Zango's red. So that means that one of the people that Zango enrolled is obviously in this board right now and turned him red, and that's the same with Flyby. But Flyby is already locked and loaded because, you know, seniority is always left to right and from level to level. Okay, I didn't tell you that in the 2x3. Let me tell you that real quick so you understand. Okay, we know that reds are, you know, have seniority over blue, and blue have seniority over green, but it also is from level to level and from left to right. Okay, so the guy at the top obviously has the strongest position, and then the next guy on the totem pole is the guy right here on the 2 line. So this guy, and then it goes to this guy, and then it goes down to the next level, and the person on the far left has the most powerful position, and it goes from him to him to him to him, and then down to the next level all the way to the very end. So the very last guy that comes into the board and breaks the board is really the lowest guy on the totem pole. Okay, same thing with the 2x2. Okay, seniority is from left to right and from level to level and then by color. So you can pretty much know what's going to happen when the board breaks before it breaks if you look at it. Okay, now, so what's going to happen right here when this board breaks? If this rock solid person did not enroll the next person that comes in here, he's going to get jumped because this Zaga person right here is already set up to jump him if the last person that comes into that 2x2 is not one of the people that rock solid enrolled. So what does that mean? Okay, that means that Zaga is going to jump up here, in essence jump to the top, because the person at the top gets pushed out, and so Zaga is going to end up skipping the 2 line. So that means instead of Zaga moving to the 2 line and then waiting till 4 more people come in and then moving to the top and then being in the pay position, Zaga is going to end up jumping straight from the 4 line to the pay line. Okay, and that's hugely powerful because obviously you're eliminating one whole cycle term. So this is where version 2 is going to be so much stronger than version 1, because a lot of people would enroll 2 people and then, you don't have any control over the 2 people you enroll. If they don't go get their 2 and they don't turn red, what's going to happen? They're going to be stuck in the 2x3, right? That means they're never going to come out of the 2x3. They're never going to follow you into the 2x2, and that means that you can sit there and stay green in the 2x2s forever. And yes, you can eventually work your way to the top of the 2x2 and earn as long as you don't get jumped. And I had a position in version 1 that ended up getting jumped like 7 times. I could not get my 2 people to perform, so I ended up having to drop a rocket on that board and qualified it and finally got it into the 2x2s to where it can earn. And honestly, it still hasn't earned me any money yet. So it's important, guys, to follow the 4-step procedure, turn yourself red, and then don't just ditch your people. Help your 2 go red or more. Help your 2 or more go red. And I don't mean give away your people. I'll be the first one to tell you, don't give away your personal signups. They're yours. You work for them. You should get paid. I know you want to help your people, but if they can't help themselves, they don't need to be in this program. I'll be the first one to say this. Don't take it the wrong way. And I tell this to anybody that's interested in this program. If you can't get 2 people, don't get in this program. Okay, it's that simple. It really is. 2 people is very easy as long as you got support like us, where I'm always available for a 3-way. I'm always available on Skype. I'm willing to help anybody that's on our team. I don't care who enrolled you. If you're on our team, then we're all on the same team, okay? So let's make that real clear, guys, that there's no excuses in this program, okay? So basically, the more people you enroll, the more people you've got following you, which means the quicker you're going to turn red in the 2x2s, the quicker the 4 line's going to fill up, the quicker the boards are going to break, the quicker you're going to make $7 grand, and it's going to be beautiful, okay? I mean, I can't be any more excited than I am about RCCv2, okay? Now, here's another awesome part. It's the residual income part. We didn't have this in version 1, and I can tell you that this is a nice little gift that was created by our CEO, or it might have even been created by Miss Lori. I think it was Lori that actually created this, and, you know, bless her. And I can tell you that this is the way it works, okay? Each person is going to pay $70 a month, and your first month's residual is paid when you pay your $4.99. So you don't have to come out of pocket on that $70 until 30 days after, you know, you get cooking. Now, as soon as you enroll your first 2 people, you make $50 a month off of your odd numbered enrollees. So your first, third, fifth, seventh people that you enroll, you make $50 a month, and then your even numbered enrollees, you make $25 a month. So as soon as you enroll your 2 people and you become qualified, you're already $5 a month in profit. Now, for each 2 people that you enroll on your first level, after that, you make $75 a month on every 2 that you bring in after that, okay? Then you actually earn $25 a month for every 2 people that your enrollees enroll all the way down. So for every 2 that you're, you know, for every person you sponsor, when they bring 2 people in, you make $25 a month off of their odd signups. That's why they tell you always put your, you know, if you can, you know, enroll your strongest builders in your odd positions. Okay, we tell everybody that, because then as it starts to go down, you know, deep into the residual, you know, everybody that signed up in the odd positions, you get $25 passed up to the sponsor. Okay, so I mean, it can really, you know, I can tell you this. I had one position in version 1 that all I did is enroll 2 people, and I ended up checking the tree, you know, which is, you know, how many people had come in from me enrolling 2 and them enrolling 2. There was something like 3,600 people that had come in underneath that one position, and all I got, you know, compensated on was just the 2 that I brought in. Okay, so with this program, 3,600 people, I mean, you're talking about just on that one position would have just created thousands and thousands of dollars a month in residual income. So it's a much, much better thought out, methodical program. And like I said at the beginning of the webinar, they've really just took all the flaws and all the, you know, the bad things that were in version 1, and they took them out and created version 2. So the residual is very, very powerful. So, you know, like I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, the products are so powerful, guys. That's what really makes the program such an easy sell. Not only the fact that you can turn $500 into $10,000 over and over again for the life of the program, but the products have such an enormous value. You know, we have what they call Facebook Ninja, which is 3 programs in one. One of them is a scraper for Skype, and what it does is it scrapes Skype for usernames. There's hundreds and hundreds of companies that are already pre-scraped by a boiler room that's already set up, and all you do is check the little box in front of the companies, and it'll scrape them, and you can import them right into your Skype program. Then they have XGuy that was actually created and designed by Todd Hirsch, our CEO. And what it does is it takes your contacts from Skype and you can blast out messages to people, and you can actually create filters to where you can, set it up for just certain companies, or you can eliminate certain people from, getting the messages or what have you. And it also has a feature where you can enter what they call a coin, where you can actually tell it where to plug in the first name of the person that you're sending the message to. And I can tell you, it really personalizes the message, and it really is effective. One of the strongest builders I've got, like I was talking to you guys about, responded from a blast I did through XGuy. And I found people in India, South Africa, Australia. It's just amazing how well these tools work. And you're going to get all this for the one-time $4.99. You're going to get a lifetime license. And so, guys, I recommend use the products. They work, and they'll help build your business. Now, I don't tell people to rely on those products to get your two, okay? Don't use the products to get your two. Get your two to get qualified so you don't get jumped. Do that immediately, and then use the tools to build, your business to grow your residual part of the business. The two people you're looking for, like I said, they're in your cell phone, okay? So we got the Facebook Ninja is compiled of the Skyscraper, the XGuy, and then they have a new program called Chill, CHILL, and I don't know exactly what that is, but it works with Skype also. So I'm sure we'll learn about that. And then we have a customized lead capture page system. And actually, I used that system before it was integrated into version 1. And the guy that runs that system does a really outstanding job of, giving support. He's been running that system for years. I was one of his biggest builders in that. I had, a lot of people I had brought in and was using that platform. And I knew that we needed that platform, in RCC. And so I actually, was able to hook him up with the owner, and they decided to go ahead and just implement the program right into the back office of version 1. Unfortunately, it kind of happened, kind of late in the game. And so it's awesome that this is coming in right at the very beginning of version 2. And, Bill's working on building a bunch of really, nice capture pages and stuff. And guys, this is a really good system. I mean, the people opt in, and, it captures their email and phone number if they put it in there properly. And it's got an autoresponder that you can set to send out custom messages, and you can tell it how often, you want it to drip. And, it's really a great tool that we're going to be able to have in our back offices, and it's not going to cost you any more money than what you pay when you get in. So that's a great feature. And then they're getting ready to add some kind of Twitter app. I don't know exactly what that's going to be, but obviously it's going to be to help market your business on Twitter, and which is awesome. I mean, Twitter is a very powerful tool, and so that's another new program, to version 2. And then they have this transformation station, which, was basically used to be in the back office of version, and it was compiled of over 170 ebooks and books on MP3 by all the greatest motivational speakers of all time. I mean, people that we grew up with, like Tony Robbins and Tom Hopkins and Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn. I mean, all the best of the best. And like I've told people, that if you, modestly equate those books at $10 a pop, there's well over $2,000 worth of just books. But, Todd took it to the next level, and he's adding videos and a whole bunch more books. And these books can be uploaded to any Nook or Kindle or smartphone or iPad or iPhone or anything like that. So, any kind of electronic that will allow you to be able to read a PDF file or be able to listen to an MP3, which is, just about everything out there these days will allow you to access those kind of files. You can upload these. You can share them with people. You can, you can use the books, to open doors and stuff. And there was so much new material in this upgraded transformation station that they had to actually serve it on a separate server. So we're going to have a separate login and password to be able to access all of this stuff. I mean, that alone is worth the $500 that, that we pay to get into this program. So the tools and stuff are just enormous. I mean, I don't know what the value is, but it's well over, probably $3,500 worth of software and books that you're going to get for a one-time $499. So, a lot of people get hung up on product and they're like, well, I got to have a product, okay, well, great. Well, you got it. You got $3,500 worth of products for $500. I mean, it's not going to get any better than that. And then you can take that $500 and you can get it back in your pocket before you leave the 2x3 board, and then you can sit around and make $7,000 over and over again. And then if you really get your team on board, you can make an extra $3,000. How's that sound? So I mean, the value is absolutely enormous. So I'm just so excited, about version 2. I can tell you, I had more fun in version 1. And for me, like I told y'all, I've got my own brick and mortar business. I don't really do this because I have to make money. I do it as a lucrative hobby. I used to fish. I don't fish anymore. I don't golf. I don't bowl. I just like to make money and meet people. So this is kind of a lucrative hobby for me. And so for me, it's important to have entertainment, included with the program. And I can tell you that when you learn how this program works, it's not just simple, get 2 people and you're done. I mean, it is like playing a game of checkers and chess rolled into one, but you get paid in $1,000 bills. It's a very, very methodical program, and if you study the boards, you can figure out ways of getting into the money quicker. And I'm going to show you real quick before the webinar's over. We're just about done. I know we're running about 45 minutes here, but I wanted to cover a lot of things. So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to recap the differences between V1 and V2. In V1, you could have multiple positions. In V2, you can only have one position. That means we're not going to have any stalled out boards. We don't have spill by wheel. Spill by wheel was something they had in version 1 to where after you enrolled 2 people, if you enrolled any more than 2 underneath your position, you created a color change credit. They called it a spill by wheel, and I personally didn't like it. It allowed people to help change people from green to blue or blue to red if they didn't enroll their people. And like I said earlier, not to be harsh, but, I don't think there should be any free rides in this program. If you can't enroll 2 people, you need not get into it. So there's no free rides in version 2. We have an expanded personal file. In version 1, we couldn't even talk with people on our boards until towards the end of, when things started to slow down in version 1. They finally implemented to where we could actually add our phone number and Skype address and Facebook and all that stuff. So if you got split up from your team and you were on a board with a bunch of strangers, you were just out of luck. You didn't have any way of getting in touch with people. And now, right out of the gate, version 2, you're able to, update your profile. And I recommend that you guys get in there and, put a picture. People like to do business with people, not with computers and email. So, take advantage of the upgraded back office and, put your picture in there, put your family picture in there, put your phone number and, put your Skype address and make yourself available to be gotten a hold of, because, the more that you work together, the more you're going to be able to break the boards and you're going to help one another get out of the 2x3, and the quicker everybody's going to make money, okay? So make sure you get in there and really update all your back office and fill out your profile as detailed as possible and make it easy for people to get in touch with you. Okay, so in version 2, you earn before you leave the 2x3, and you're $101 in profit by the time you leave the 2x3. You earn $7,000 every time you cycle the 2x2, and you can double down and earn an extra $3,000 if you move yourself into the 2x1. Like I said, just make sure that all your team's on board to do that, because you don't want to, stall $3,000 in that 2x1 if everybody's not going to join in. So make sure you get in touch with your downline and make sure that everybody's on the same page on that, okay? Residual income, $75 for every 2 people every month. That's month after month for every 2 that are brought in on your first level. And then you earn $25 for every 2 that are that your people enroll all the way down. So that's powerful. We've got 2 more software product suites added in the books, the audio books, the videos. And then we've got the updated VX Gateway. I shot a short video the other day to show people how easy it is, to be able to sign up using a credit card, Visa, MasterCard, or Discover through VX Gateway. And no, you don't have to get officially, approved. You don't have to upload any documents and stuff right out of the gate. So, I mean, you can go ahead and get signed up and get enrolled and get cooking. And then you can always do, the verification later on. It's very simple. I've been verified through Payza and Solid Trust Pay, which took weeks. I'm verified through VX Gateway, and it took hours. It's very simple, guys. You do like just take a snapshot of your driver's license, and then just go to any utility bill company and just download a PDF, and then just upload it to their server. And it takes a matter of minutes to do it, guys. It's real simple. Okay. So basically, guys, this is the fastest money generator on the planet, okay? So, guys, there's no excuse, why you can't make a lot of money very quickly in this program. And what I'm going to do real quick now is I'm going to see if I can go ahead and share my screen. And let me see if I can turn. Give me 1 second here. All right. All right, what I'm going to show you guys real quick, show you my screen. Okay, I just want to show you this board. I don't know if it'll allow me to squeeze the whole board on here. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this, but here was a board that, that we had this morning. It just broke by the time I got home from running some errands. But as you can see, all of the positions on this board pretty much were green except for this guy right here, this damn VIP. And basically, if any one of these green positions would have enrolled just one person and went blue, they would have jumped these 2 people that were on the first level right here. Now, this guy, Dan, luckily, went ahead and rolled a person. So he did. He jumped from when this board broke today, he jumped straight from the 8 line all the way to the pay line, okay? And if anybody else on this board that you see is green, if they would have simply just enrolled one more person, they would have done the same thing. So just think about it. Instead of the 8 line breaking and then having to move to the 4 line and then wait till 8 more people come in, and then the board breaks, and then you move to the 2 line, and then you got to wait till 8 more people come in and the board breaks, and then you move to the pay line. The most powerful, way to get into the money in this program is to be able to jump, people, which means jump from the 8 line to the pay line or from the 4 line to the pay line. So, I was just, going crazy today, wanting to try to get a hold of some of you guys, because obviously I could tell that you guys didn't understand really what you had your hands on at that point, because, I can tell you guys that that's powerful to be able to shave off, hours, days, or weeks off how long it takes to get up into that money. So, guys, my name's Kenan McKinney. I appreciate y'all coming out. Hopefully this helped you. We'll be having some more of these webinars coming up maybe tomorrow. If you guys want to shoot me an email and let me know if you want me to start doing these on a regular basis. If you want me to do them a couple times a week, I can do it, or I can, do them every night of the week while we're getting going. You can shoot me an email over to rocketcashprofits@gmail.com. All right? You guys have a great night. Appreciate you coming out. Take care.